Now, some of these you guys may already know, and some of these you may very well not know at all. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 6 dangerous things that you should never put in your Afro hair that is stunting your hair growth. Most of these are done daily without much thought put into it, but it can actually be extremely damaging for your hair. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with the bell if you're interested in growing your hair as healthy as possible, as long as possible, and as quick as possible. This is the channel for you, so go ahead and subscribe with the bell icon so that you're notified when I post. The first thing that I have for you guys might think is a little funny because most people already know not to do this, but it's gonna be soap. So soap is a nope.
Oh my gosh.
Do you get it? Cause soap and nope.
Please stop.
Cause they both rhyme. So like it's funny.
Oh
Stop,
my gosh,
brother,
bro.
this guy stinks!
Stop.
No
way.
I'm sorry. To most people, this is going to be self-explanatory, but there is going to be a lot of people who this is new information to. And for those people who didn't know, I'm guessing that you're probably a little younger, or nobody might have told you, but soap is completely different than shampoo. You do not ever want to put soap in your hair. It is extremely damaging to your actual hair. Soap is unlike shampoo. Shampoo, even though it's still stripping and cleaning and washing any dirt, grime, and oils out of your hair, it's still nourishing in its own way. Soap is not nourishing in any sort of way. It is completely 100% harmful to your hair. So you don't want to put soap in your hair or wash your hair with soap at all. Soap can cause your hair to be extremely brittle, extremely dry, and cause strands of your hair to actually break off. It's going to make your hair extremely prone to damage and very easily damaged. So if you are putting soap in your hair or washing your hair with soap, stop and replace that with some sort of shampoo. Shampoo is going to be a lot better for your hair versus soap. Even though I recommend shampooing lightly and not shampooing very, very often, even if you still do this, it still will be a lot better than using soap. So please, please, I'm literally begging you, please stop washing your hair with soap. Another super dangerous thing that you should never put in your Afro hair is a hair sponge. I know a lot of you guys, for style and for the look of it, you will sponge your hair. A lot of you guys do this daily or weekly or however often. Sponging your hair literally rips and tears your hair out. Like literally. So you don't want to do it at all. You're literally twisting and knotting your hair together. The sponge is literally pulling and tugging on your hair and tearing it out. If you've ever looked at your sponge after sponging your hair, you probably will notice a lot of hair follicles and hair strands inside of the sponge. That's because it's literally ripping your hair out. Not only is it going to be tearing, ripping, and damaging your hair, it's literally also drying your hair out of moisture. Just like the name implies, it's a sponge, so it will literally absorb the moisture out of your hair. So you don't want to be sponging your hair at all. So you want to leave that in the past. As an alternative, there are metal sponges. They look something like this. Now, I still do recommend against it because you are literally twisting and knotting your hair together. But if you like sponging your hair and that's just the style that you wear your hair in, using a metal sponge is going to be a good bit better than using a actual like foam sponge. So altogether, we want to stop sponging our hair. It isn't good for our hair in any sort of way. So if it isn't good, then it must be bad. So we got to throw it away. Gosh, bro, I got the bars today, man. I'm straight spitting straight heat. Y'all really watch this guy? Like seriously. Y'all really subscribe and like be watching this dude? Like just look at him. Look at him. All right, another super damaging thing that you never want to put in your hair is actually going to be cologne or perfume. Now this one a lot of people do, and I've seen it done and I get it, but like also like I don't get it. So stop, don't do it. It's not good. Now perfumes and colognes contain alcohol and various other terrible ingredients that might smell good, but they don't feel good to your hair, so don't do it. I get the idea of wanting your hair to smell good and wanting your hair to have its own scent, so if anyone's close to you, They can smell the fragrance that comes out of it. Hair is pretty good at holding in and locking in a scent, but you don't want to spray your hair with any sort of cologne or perfume. It's going to be damaging and stripping to your hair. Literally, you're causing a chemical damage to your hair, so you don't want to be consistently putting cologne and perfume in your hair. You don't want to be putting it in your hair at all. So we're done with that one. We're throwing that away, because if it's not good, then
Stop.
instead, what you want to do, if you want your hair to smell nice, if you want your hair to have a fragrance to it, because again, hair is very good at locking in any sort of scent, is you're going to want to use some sort of fragrance leave-in conditioner. All you have to do is find a good leave-in conditioner that you like, that has a good fragrance to you, and just put a leave-in conditioner in your hair, lock and seal in that conditioner and that moisture in your hair with an oil, and boom, you're good to go. Your hair will smell beautiful throughout the entire day. So no more cologne, no more perfume. Instead, switch that out for a conditioner. That actually brings me to the next extremely damaging thing for your hair, and that's going to be using low quality products. If you aren't currently already, switching over to products with completely all natural ingredients is going to be dramatically more healthier for your hair than doing anything else. Natural ingredients being ingredients that are found in your day-to-day nature, in normal things such as fruits, vegetables, plants, all sorts of other naturally benefiting and conditioning products that will work very well with hair. It literally be like 10 times, 50 times, 100 times better than using any other sort of product. A lot of products, for some reason, have a bunch of ingredients that just don't need to be in there, and I don't understand why they put them in there, but I'm sure they have their reasoning, but like, no. There's a lot of preservatives and all sorts of other stuff that people put into products that I just feel like don't need to be in there at all. So brands that consist of a lot more natural ingredients, a lot more healthier ingredients, and a lot more of ingredients that are more beneficial to hair is going to be so much more nourishing and so much more healthy for your overall hair and hair growth. Really, if you think about it, it makes a whole lot more sense if you take better care of your hair, spend a little bit more money, use a little bit better of a product. Your hair is going to show it and you'll start to see it in results. All natural ingredients is going to be all good for hair, so I highly recommend doing that, and stop using low quality, low budget hair products. The next thing that is terrible to put in your afro hair is going to be sulfate. Now, this one a lot of people already know, and if you don't know what sulfate is, it is a very common ingredient in a whole lot of hair products. You'll now literally see a whole lot of products literally advertise that it is sulfate free, which in my opinion it should have been sulfate free from the beginning, but whatever. Sulfate is a common ingredient in a lot of hair products simply because it is really good at keeping your hair from being oily. Now, if you have really oily hair, this might seem like a good idea to you, but sulfate literally does more damage than it's worth, so it's definitely not worth it. Instead, I completely recommend against it and completely recommend using a product that does not contain any sort of sulfate in it. So when you are buying hair products, when you are purchasing any sort of products for your hair, I recommend actually taking a look at the products, taking a look at the ingredients, and seeing if it has or contains any sort of sulfate. If it doesn't, that's going to be a lot better. If it does, you want to just put that product down and just go find something else, because that one ain't it. That ain't it. So just stop with that one. You can find this in hair conditioners, leave-in conditioners. You can find this in shampoos. You can find this in deep conditioners. You can find this in so many different types of products. So avoid sulfate altogether. It is not a good idea at all. They all literally basically destroy your hair, so you want to just stay away from it. Yeah, nah, we not doing that one. And the last extremely damaging thing that you never ever want to put into your hair is going to be hair dye, or to chemically dye your hair. This is going to be really popular with a lot of people. They want color in their hair, I get it. There's going to be a lot of healthier versions of hair dye. There's going to be a lot of hair dye that is less damaging than other hair dyes, a lot of different brands, all sorts of different stuff. But overall, it's all the same type of gist. Dyeing your hair chemically damages your hair regardless. Now, it's going to be maintaining damage at a point where you're dyeing your hair and doing it in a more healthier way. You're trying to kind of maintain damage, but regardless, dyeing your hair and having your hair go through a chemical change is going to be damaging to your hair one way or the other. Whether it's in the future, whether it's in the very beginning, it's going to damage your hair regardless. But if you do plan on growing your hair very long and really sticking out this hair journey and this hair growth journey, then I very, very, very highly recommend staying completely away from hair dye. I know a lot of celebrities and a lot of rappers might have colored hair, but one way or the other, you're gonna have to reap the consequences later on at some point. You might get a lot of split ends, you might get a lot of hair shedding, you might get a lot of breakage. There's plenty of different sorts of damage that you can get from hair dye, but in the long run, you're gonna face some sort of hair damage one way or the other. It just, if you think about it, it just doesn't really make sense to grow your hair and it come out your head black and then somehow all of a sudden you're blonde. If you think about it, no possible way that can be healthy for you, but the sad truth of the matter is it's gonna damage your hair. I think there's a lot of really cool styles that I see with a lot of people who dye their hair. One of them being like having your roots reversed. So if your hair is black, your roots are like blonde. I think that's like super dope. And personally, if I could somehow achieve that style without damaging my hair, I would. But I can't, so I won't. So definitely keep that in mind if you're deciding to dye your hair. With that being said, that is 6 damaging things that you should never put in your Afro hair that is stunting your hair growth. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave this video a like. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe with the bell icon so that you're notified when I post. I post once a week, every single week. If you're interested in growing healthy hair, if you're interested in growing long hair as quick as you possibly can, in the shortest amount of time that you possibly can, in the healthiest possible way that you possibly can, this is the channel for you. So go ahead and subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm Kozak, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.